What if I told you that trying to sound smart in English is the exact reason you cannot speak fluently? I spent years memorizing academic textbooks only to freeze when asking for a simple spoon. Everything you have been taught about fluency is a lie. Imagine standing in a crowded room, feeling your face burn with shame, completely unable to speak to the person right in front of you. That was me. I spent years of my life and thousands of dollars studying complex English, only to realize I was entirely mute when it mattered most. I could write a beautiful essay, but I could not survive a normal day. Welcome to Glaze English. If you have ever felt this kind of silent frustration, please subscribe to our channel right now so we have the motivation to keep making more great videos for you. Let me tell you what happened. I was sitting in a small cafe. I accidentally dropped the little tool used to stir my coffee. I walked up to the counter to ask for a new one, and my mind went completely blank. I stood there, frozen. I knew the academic word for the life cycle of a butterfly, metamorphosis. I knew advanced grammar rules, but I did not know the simple word for spoon. I felt so incredibly embarrassed. That was the exact moment I realized we have all been lied to. We are told that big, difficult words make us fluent. We are told to read heavy textbooks. But fluent English is not built from complicated vocabulary. It is built from the simple words that real people use every single day. If you cannot describe your own breakfast, your feelings, or your daily problems, you are not fluent yet. Big words belong in books. Simple words belong in your life. In this video, we are going to escape that academic trap. We will explore the daily words that give you real power. If you stay with me until the very end, you will finally understand why you do not need to be a walking dictionary to sound perfectly natural. It will change everything. Let us begin. To break free from that trap, we have to start right where you open your eyes every morning. Learning English becomes a natural habit only when you attach words to your personal, daily reality. Think about the very first moment your alarm rings. You wake up, you feel tired, and you probably want to stay under your warm blanket. Instead of ignoring that moment, use it. Tell yourself in your mind, I am waking up. I feel sleepy. I want to stay in my bed. This is not just a game. It is a deep mental shift. You are training your brain to think in English before you even step onto the floor. You must learn to label your life. If you walk into your kitchen and cannot name the sink where you wash your cup or the ceiling above your head, you are missing the true foundation of the language. Your home is your most honest classroom. Imagine going into the bathroom and looking in the mirror. You grab a towel, you brush your teeth. Then you check if your living room is messy or tidy. When a room is messy, with clothes on a chair and dust on the table, it affects your mood. When you clean the space, you naturally feel calm. These simple household words anchor your daily reality. Fluency is simply knowing how to talk about the space where you actually live. Tied directly to that physical space are your feelings. Emotions are the core of human connection. You do not need advanced vocabulary to tell someone how you truly feel. Every day, you experience basic, powerful moods. You might feel nervous because you are running late. You might feel stressed about the day ahead, or perfectly relaxed and comfortable when you rest on a soft pillow. For years, I tried to find poetic ways to express my anxiety. But when I finally learned to just say, "I am a little nervous," people understood me instantly. They smiled, and I felt safe. True fluency is built right there, in the quiet moments of your morning routine, when you learn to honestly name your most basic feelings. Once you master the quiet space of your home and your inner emotions, you must step outside into the real world, where your daily survival depends on a completely different set of words. I call this survival vocabulary, and it starts with the most universal icebreaker we have: food. I used to be terrified of going to a restaurant in a foreign country. I would silently point at the menu instead of speaking because I did not want to sound foolish. But sharing a meal is how humans naturally connect. You do not need to read culinary magazines to eat with new friends. You just need to know how to ask for a plate, a knife, a fork, and of course, a spoon. You order water or juice. You taste the food and say if it is spicy, sweet, bitter, or delicious. Finally, you feel full and ask for the bill. Those simple words build beautiful bridges between people over a shared table. But to get to that restaurant, you have to move through the city. Travel and movement are the heartbeat of daily life. Every single day, you take a bus, a train, or a taxi. You deal with a busy street, heavy traffic, and crowded stations. I remember wandering around a city for hours because I was too shy to ask a simple question. Do not make my mistake. If you want true freedom, learn to use a map and ask for directions without fear. You stop a friendly stranger and ask, "Is the hospital near or far? Do I go straight or turn left?" You do not need a complicated textbook sentence. You just need to reach your destination. Then there is shopping and money, the things that guide our daily choices. You walk into a store or a large mall. You are a customer looking for clothes in your exact size. You check the price to see if a shirt is cheap or expensive. You actively look for a discount or a sale. You try it on to see if it fits perfectly. Then, you hand over your cash or your card, wait for your receipt, and take your change. Learning these words is not just about spending or saving money. It is about claiming your total independence. When you can buy your own food, find your own way, and handle your own transactions comfortably, you are no longer just a student of English. You are truly living it. Living the language independently is empowering, but the greatest joy of English comes when you use it to build real connections with other people. For a long time, I was terrified of getting a job in an English-speaking office. I thought I needed to master complex corporate jargon just to speak to my manager. I bought special books on business English, only to realize that a normal workplace is just humans working together. You go to the office, you check your email, and you start your work. You do not need fancy words to survive. You need to know how to discuss a tight deadline, join a morning meeting, and finish your daily tasks. If there is a problem, you do not need to give a long speech. You simply tell your boss or your team that you need help finding a solution. Being clear and direct makes you sound completely professional and reliable. But at the end of the day, when work is finished, you step into the most beautiful part of life, which is your friendships. This is where your fluency truly shines. A best friend is someone you deeply trust with your secrets. When you sit down for a long conversation, you are not just practicing vocabulary anymore. You listen closely to their words, you ask questions, and you answer honestly. You share a funny story or a simple joke, and suddenly you are laughing together without thinking about the language at all. I used to worry that my English was not good enough to share my true opinions. I learned that to support a friend, you do not need the vocabulary of a philosopher. You simply need to say, "I agree with you," or gently say, "I disagree, but I completely understand." When someone is struggling, giving good advice is about relying on the most powerful words we have, like honest, trust, and promise. It is looking someone in the eye and saying, "I promise I will always support you." That is the highest level of communication. When you master these deeply human words, you stop translating in your head, you stop worrying, and you finally feel at home. Even with the strongest friendships and the best intentions, things will occasionally go wrong, and that is perfectly okay. Life is never completely smooth, which is why having a robust problem-solving mindset is the final, most crucial step to real fluency. I used to be terrified of making a mistake. If my laptop was broken, or if I lost my keys and was late for an important event, I would panic because I thought I lacked the perfect vocabulary to explain the situation. But I quickly learned that native speakers do not use complex language when they are in trouble. They use simple honesty. When you feel completely confused, the absolute bravest thing you can do is stay calm and say, "I need help." If you do not understand someone, you do not need to pretend. Just politely ask them to repeat what they said, or ask them to explain it one more time. Admitting that you forgot something, or simply saying, "I am sorry," is not a sign of weakness. It is actual proof of your growing confidence. You now have the ultimate tools to survive and thrive in the real world. You have learned the essential daily words to navigate your home, buy your food, travel the city, build honest relationships, and fix unexpected problems. You do not need to memorize a massive dictionary to be completely fluent. You just need to practice these simple, powerful words every single day until they become a natural part of your own voice. Looking back at my own journey, the biggest roadblock was never my lack of intelligence or my dedication. It was my ego. I used to spend hours memorizing flashcards filled with advanced vocabulary, hoping that one day I would speak with the authority of a native scholar. I sincerely thought that fluency meant absolute perfection. I believed that if I did not sound like a university professor giving a lecture, I was failing at the language. But the truth is, nobody expects you to be a walking dictionary. When you step outside your door, the world does not demand poetry from you. It demands clarity. As we have explored today, true fluency is not about proving how smart you are to strangers. It is about genuine connection. It is about looking at the world around you and being able to participate in it fully. From the moment you wake up and feel tired, to navigating a busy street, to sharing a delicious meal, and to supporting a best friend who is feeling sad, the English language is simply a practical tool for living. When we strip away the heavy pressure of academic perfection, we discover the beautiful simplicity of human interaction. The simple words we use every single day are actually the most powerful ones, because they carry the weight of our actual lives. If you know how to honestly say you are sorry, if you confidently know how to ask for help when you are lost, and if you can tell someone you deeply care about them, you have already conquered the hardest parts of any language. The profound lesson I want you to take away from this is that vulnerability is your greatest asset in learning. Stop hiding behind complex vocabulary to protect yourself from making a mistake. To apply this to your life right now, I challenge you to a very specific exercise. Tomorrow morning, do not open a grammar book. Instead, walk around your house and actively name the simple things you touch. When you go to work or the store, silently narrate your actions using only basic words. Give yourself absolute permission to sound simple. Embrace your mistakes as proof that you are actually trying to communicate, not just performing for a test. Now, I have a simple question for you. What is one basic daily word or phrase that you use all the time, but always felt was too simple to be considered real English? Please leave your answer in the comments below so we can all read your perspective and learn together. Finally, if this video helped you see your learning journey differently, please subscribe to Glaze English. Your support gives us the motivation to keep making more great videos.